Hi, this is Heather Fiore, and this is my Module 16. The essential question is, as an advanced educational professional, how would you apply data and data analysis to ensure your continuous improvement plan is focused on closing the gaps? I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about my school. It's a high school. We have approximately 3,000 students. 62% of them are economically disadvantaged. We have approximately 23% students with disabilities and 8% that are English language learners. About 54% of our school is Hispanic, another 18% is African American, and 24% white. We have a huge problem with chronic absenteeism. We are about 20% above the state average of 14, so we're at 34%, and 39% of this is Hispanic students. Needless to say, with that information, we are a Title I district. As far as data and how it's shared, we don't get a whole lot of actual hardcore data. We get information that suggests implementations and changes for us, but we don't really get to see any of the numbers and so forth. And most of this is addressed during in-service meetings, the information that's provided. I am currently a media specialist, and I am not really involved in much of data. The English teachers, or math teachers, they get a lot more data than I do. However, there is one program that I tend to feel is greatly data-driven and works closely with trying to close the gaps, and it deals with me as a media specialist as well, and it's called Read 180. In my school, it's mainly used for ELL students and special education students. However, it was developed for general ed students as well. A lot of our students in the elementary and middle school use it for their general ed classes, as well as with the special ed and ELL. It's a program that assesses students' reading abilities. It monitors the students continuously and provides progress reports at the beginning, middle, and end of the year. The teacher learns a lot about the student's abilities through the data that's provided, and the student basically has to fill an application out which shows their interests and what motivates them. So the data that the teacher gets from the reading assessments, they can then promote instruction by interests and what motivates the student. It utilizes diversified instruction, so it's basically like 20 minutes on a computer, 20 minutes in group instruction, and then 20 minutes of independent reading. The assessments provide a Lexile level, which tells the teacher what grade level the student is reading at. The students are then placed on the Read 180 at their level. The program allows for critical thinking and 21st century skills. Basically, at the end of each workshop, the student skills are assessed, and a report is generated so the teacher can see where they fall. The embedded assessments continually generate actionable data, which helps teachers to understand whether the student's on track or if they need to provide them with more support, different instruction. Like I said, it's a program that is continuously providing data on student growth. A program that can continuously provide data of growth is needed to help bridge these gaps that we have in reading or any other subject area for that matter. So that's my information on data, guys. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, that Lexile measure, what is that? Could you explain that to me so I can understand that a little bit more?
The Lexile measure, basically the program comes up with a number that falls within the Lexile measurements, and the Lexile measurements are usually 0 to 2,000, and each one is broken down into a grade level. So it could be, if they fell at 0, it could be kindergarten level, and it shows what level of reading they're at. So like if they're, like I said, if they're in 9th grade and they're falling at a 0, it could be that they're on a kindergarten level. So that's what the Lexile is.
Okay. Is this for everyone, mainstream? I know you said ELL, special education, but shouldn't this be used throughout everybody, like the mainstream?
Well, that's what my issue is, that I feel it should be used because it's a great benefit to all the classrooms, the English classrooms as well. You can have a kid that's not classified special ed but still is not reading on the level that they need. So this is a great program to find out where they are and then help them get on level.
What exactly is the data provided in this progress report?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
What exactly is the data provided in the progress report?
Oh, the data that the progress report usually comes out with a sheet that has the child's name. It shows their comprehension score, their vocabulary score, word fluency, spelling, context of the passage. There's a final fluency recording as well, which is done by the teacher. That part is a written assessment that the teacher then scores themselves manually. But all the other ones are computer generated scores that will show you a progress of the child. Each time they take this, like after each workshop, they have these assessments and it shows whether they're progressing. It adds like more complicated readings as they start progressing throughout the Read 180 program.
And you're saying this program can benefit all the students? It just doesn't have to be?
No, it doesn't have. It was originally designed for general education students, but it has tremendous benefits for ELL and special education as well because it has some diversified lessons and instruction for those students.
Okay, thank you.
So, okay, so the next question was to what kind of help do I want? I want help in getting it like in our school. For the general ed population. What suggestions do you have for that?
Well, if you're going to be able to use this for everyone, I would try to get department heads maybe to have like sample groups and try it out, so that way you can show the Board of Education how it's working or not working. Sounds like it's a really good program, but it'll probably work. So I would get like sample groups and get your department heads to start implementing that, at least to prove it.
Any other suggestions?
Bring it towards the staff, maybe in a staff workshop, to show how it actually does work and benefit everybody, not just our ELL, because maybe the perception is, well, we're not going to use it because it only affects a certain population. Show the acknowledgement of beneficiary of all of the students, help those who are having reading comprehension problems in their English, in their history class, maybe their science. So it benefits them and helps their scores come up because of the program.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys, for sharing those ideas. And I definitely feel that both of you had pertinent information to give me as far as the different ideas. I would probably take both of them into consideration, talking to both the staff and talking to the Board of Education and showing them how this program has excelled for numerous students and really has done projected growth in closing the gaps in reading for many students. There's a lot of data out there that shows that. So I think both your suggestions were great, and I thank you so much for participating in this with me.
Hey, thanks for sharing.
Thank you for sharing.
Bye-bye.